When trauma work isn't enough, when love and nurture is not enough. There's been a revolution in treating trauma. It's been amazing. Literally millions of people are being helped with new understanding, neurobiological understanding, new treatments, somatic experiencing. We're coming up at EMDR, new experience every day. And they work. I am thrilled at the revolution in our capacity to work with and heal trauma. God bless. And a word of caution. At its best, trauma work heals deep pain in an individual. Does trauma work alone transform the essential character structure of an individual? I don't think so. Does trauma work alone cure addictions or stop grandiose, irresponsible, even harmful behaviors? I see no evidence. Does trauma work alone teach the people we work with how to be successful in their relationships? The essential skills you need to build and sustain intimacy, how to fight fair, how to stand up for yourself without harshness but love, how to empower your partner to come through for you rather than just criticizing them to death, how to make repair when the wheels fall off. Does trauma work teach all that? It does not. And yet, there are some, and these days many, who seem to believe that trauma work alone can accomplish all of those things. In psychotherapy, overreach has consequences, not in what we offer, but actually in what we think we no longer need to offer. I was treating a guy, a couple on the brink of divorce. His wife stumbled one horrible day on emails in his phone to no less than 4 different women, meeting, flirting, arranging. She closed his phone and called a lawyer, but 2 adolescent kids, 20 plus years together. And so he begged, he promised. He got into 3-day-a-week psychotherapy for 16 months. And she began to relax until she found the burner phone he was hiding 16 months into therapy, and he called me. This man had 48 hours of psychotherapy, and no one once mentioned the phrase sex addiction. I sent him, in part as a Hail Mary to get his wife off the ledge and save the marriage, to a treatment center for a week of intensive work with the goal of convincing him that he would need ongoing support. You know, when you work with addictions, as I have, you learn quickly that white knuckle recovery is not enough. You have to surround the person with ongoing help to keep them sober and healthy. 12-step harm reduction work or both. To my chagrin, I got a report back a week after his completion saying he had done deep trauma work. He understood the roots of his acting out and needed no further help. Not therapy, not 12-step, not harm reduction. He was cured. I never heard from him again. A year and a half later, I heard from his wife, who was divorcing him after a 3rd tranche of emails. Trauma work is great. Overreaching what it can do for us is not great. A lot of people think that it's sufficient. It isn't. IFS is perhaps the most extreme and clear proponent of the idea. Dick Schwartz and I have been around this block in the public stages for 10 years. IFS and other trauma people believe that if you clear away the trauma, that the person will somehow, the self, as IFS calls it, will know how to be intimate. I think that's wishful thinking. Not in this culture. I want relational skills taught to elementary school kids and junior high and college. We do not know how to do this. We need to be taught. RLT has 3 phases. The first is loving confrontation, particularly useful for addictive or grandiose behaviors. This is what you're doing to blow your foot off. I can help you do better. Will you let me help you? The second is trauma work. I agree with Sue Johnson. Once you're flooded, skills go out the window. We have to deal with that. So we do inner child work. Where did you learn this from? How are you going to form a relationship with this young part of you? Nurture it, guide it, and demote it. Little Terry, I will protect you from Belinda's anger, but you let me deal with my wife. You will make a hash of it. Prefrontal cortex, not the wounded child, not what we call the adaptive child, the part of you that learn, fight, flight, fawn, which in adulthood is fix. There is a more mature part of you that can learn skills and do better. But we have to decrease the flooding, not in and of itself, but to enable you to use the skills which we then teach you. And then the third phase is teaching you skill. Please, my therapist brothers and sisters, don't ask them what they think they should do. If they knew what to do, they wouldn't be writing us checks. Teach. We know more about how to sustain intimacy than the people who come to us. We're experienced, we're trained, and we try in our own relationships to do more than what we learned as kids. Pass it on. Don't be shy. This world is hurting. We therapists know something about how to open up an armored heart. We can be models. We can be the thing we're teaching. Let's inhabit that. This is not a time for us to be shy. Intimacy is the antidote to autocracy. Every one of us is a social activist. Own it, no matter what political stripe you are, no matter what denomination of therapist you are. We teach intimacy. And man, oh man, this world needs us. Let's rise to the occasion. If you found this helpful, hit the button to subscribe to the channel, and there's more. Be well.